are you, Tara?
I'm amazing on this beautiful Wednesday. Yes, I'm doing
Yes. So
yeah.
everybody, I'm super excited. You guys know I'm Melisa Alaba, group practice owner, therapist, and breakthrough coach. I am here with Tara, who's one of our amazing therapists, and she's also a mentor and a supervisor to a lot of our therapists. And I'm so happy you're here.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Yes. So today we're talking about family trauma and the family reunion that's happening this summer.
What up? It's next weekend. What we
Next
doing?
weekend.
Yeah.
So, Tara, I thought this was an interesting topic because COVID, although it's not officially over, we know this, but it is officially over in terms of any of the restrictions. That's done. And this is the summer that everybody's been getting out here in these streets, catching up with folks they ain't seen in years, traveling like never before to all the places that they've been missing and wanting to go to. It's an exciting time, but it's also a time when we, like one client texted me today and she said, you know, it was family stuff and they had to get together. And she said, this feels like a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. I've heard that all the time. Tyler Perry, making sure, sometimes people don't even want to go. They may want to go for, because they haven't seen them in a while, but then it's still that anxiety, the
Yeah.
stressors that come along with, I want to go, but I really don't want to go because people going to start bringing up, they only remember me from the person I was 10 years ago or when I was getting into stuff or my divorce, they don't look at me from who I am, from this point on. So yeah, it's
that is so good that you said that, because think about this. During COVID, if you haven't seen your family members since COVID, that's almost 3.5 years. And a lot of things have happened. Like my daughter, when we go, no one has met her 2 children. Like a lot of things happened during that time. She had both of her kids. So it's going to be like a lot of new stuff, she has a new job. She's in tech now. She's not a teacher anymore. And I can't wait to see my nephews and second cousins, because that's the same with them. Like so many changes have taken place. People are different iterations of themselves.
Yeah. And also like the younger generation, like they're growing older. And like you said, your daughter's having children. And, for my son, he's getting older, so my generation has become like that next generation, like my mom, them are the ones that are kind of sitting down. We're the ones that are taking over. So just kind of watching the crossing of the guards and generations. But the thing, when we think about things like that, we also think about what does that look like, when it comes to the changing of the guards, because a lot of times some people, they're not going to show up the way that you may show up. And so how does that impact the family dynamic? We have the hard workers, and then we have the ones who aren't, or like I mentioned earlier, the ones who just want to dwell on who you used to be or what you used to do them, because they love talking about, oh, used to beat us up when we were younger. It's like, dude, we
remember that.
We grown with our own grown kids. Like you still, but again, that's their narrative, right? And so we want to make sure that when those conversations happen, that we're not minimizing, that, because we don't want anybody to minimize what our trauma has been. If we used to get beat up, we were younger, we want to be able to talk about like, hey, I didn't like the way you made me feel when I was younger, and have a conversation about it and not minimize people. And also not be afraid to say, hey, not cool if whether it was a year ago, 5 years ago, just not cool. I don't rock with you. I'm setting a boundary with you because of, just some feelings that have come up over the last year, 5 years, whatever that may look like.
And that's good, because a lot of people, especially people who look like us, have been in therapy. You have a different lingo. You've set a different standard for yourself. You have boundaries. I also thought about this, like me going to my own family reunion, right? I also realized there are safe people and there are unsafe people.
Absolutely.
And I get to choose who I have that conversation and dialogue with. Because some people not even like, I won't even see you again for another 10 years. And honestly, it's not even worth my time to have the dialogue because you may show up and we can see this. We're like, we can observe, and you are still the same person.
You haven't changed and you're not going to change. So
Yeah.
where do I put my energy? Am I going to put it on in this safe space or with the people who show up for me? Or am I going to exhaust my energy by entertaining you when there's no change coming your way?
Absolutely. So we may choose to not have that conversation or to have it outside of this situation. Like maybe it's like, you know what, like after the family reunion, we need to get together. Let's talk. If that's someone you want to
Absolutely
have a relationship with,
If not, then and that's okay, right?
and it's
Because
okay.
family doesn't mean that I have to engage with you.
Mhm.
The whole purpose of a family reunion is for us to reunite, right? For
Yeah.
us to come together and share stories, of the past and like, okay, what are we going to do different moving forward? And also to teach our children about family, so that when
Yeah.
we're gone, they can still have that legacy, and
Yeah.
learn about what it was like. So we can't be afraid to have conversations. That's the most important thing, not being and choosing, like Melissa said, if this is going to be a person that you want to engage in a conversation with, do I feel safe? But one thing you don't want to avoid, like missing out altogether on the family reunion because of one person or a particular a particular set of family members. It's like, no, I'm here to show up for the ones who show up for me and let them be your guide.
Absolutely. I also say take a playlist. And so I'm big on this. My playlist is I'm going to walk in the morning. I'm going to leave early, right? I'm going to leave early. I might go back to our space. I got an Airbnb, take me a bath, listen to some music. I usually get a nice rental car. I'm going to go ride around town. I might go pick up me some ice cream. What are going to be some things that you can do, right, to give yourself some love, give yourself some space from everyone if you need to, so that if you do feel like you get triggered, you're not just feeling stuck and unhappy, in a space, but you're able to lift your own mood. What's some of the things that you share with your clients?
Oh, I love your playlist. One thing for sure is making sure that even though you're out of town, you're still doing those things that you would do back home. So whether that's journaling, whether that's your affirmations, your meditations, still making sure just because you're out of town in a new city, you still want to make sure that you're pouring into you. You still want to make sure that you're doing those things that have your cup in overflow, right? In an abundance. Because as we know, being around people, some of them are energy vampires. So we want to make sure that we're still taking care of us while we're there. We're still, we might dab a little bit in, some unhealthy eating, but we're still making sure that we're being true to ourselves, in the process.
I love that because that's so true. It's like keeping up your own rituals so that you feel good about yourself. I think all of that helps us to be able to manage uncomfortable situations as we stretch ourselves, as we grow, because life is all about sometimes being in uncomfortable situations, but moving through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, I know mental rehearsal, because sometimes we're just so scared of going or we're kind of thinking, but just kind of play it out in your head. Okay, when I go here, I know this person, I know this person. Have a mental rehearsal of what you would like for it to look like for you and kind of creating that safe space, creating the environment that you want, when you get there. So I love mental rehearsals, just the whole scenario, playing it out. Like you said, Melissa, when I get there, I have ice cream. But when I get there, okay, I'm going to spend this much time with this person. If this person, have your strategy, your exit strategy. If this person started talking about how you made me feel when I was 5 years, when I was 10 years old, and you know what? It was good seeing you today. Like making sure that you're already planning ahead for that conversation, so you're not getting trapped into
Yeah, and then just letting them know, like, again, if that's someone you want to continue to engage with, we can have that conversation after this. I would love to do that when it's just like us
Yeah.
and it's not like all the people.
Everybody. Kind of
But I
messy.
love it. I love everything that you said. Those are such great tips. If you want to work with Tara, you know how to get in touch with us at visionworkscoaching.com. That's www. And you can call us, and we always have the amazing Jasmine, our operations person there, waiting to connect you with our amazing therapist. So it's been great, Tara. I can't wait to talk to you again. Thanks again.
Thank you guys.
All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.